Breeze Nation, what is good? It's your boy Pat the Designer back at it again. Appreciate y'all for tuning in and showing love to another edition of the Windy City Breeze Sports Talk Daily. It's been a little while, but we got the squad in the building. Be squad in this mug, man. Mr. Media himself, Jordan JC, as always. Superman C Dub from downtown. Look at that beautiful city. You ever go to somebody else's city? This is about to be a shot at literally every other city ever. You ever go to somebody else's city and you're just there and you're just like, your city sucks?
Yes.
Bro, I'm not gonna lie to you, dog. Every single time I go to another city, I'm like, you call this a city?
Is this your downtown?
Garbage. Is
this your downtown?
This is your downtown? You know what I think about your downtown? Take that now. That's what I think about your downtown.
Is this your champion?
Hey, man. Listen, man, we got a lot to get into on today's show. The Chicago Bears would piss me off if they go along with ESPN's prediction here, as ESPN's Dan Graziano predicts that from what he's hearing, Brian Flores will be the next head coach of the Chicago Bears. Let's hope he's hearing some absolute bull. But we got to talk about that. Also, we got to take a look at this coaching cycle as a whole, the team as a whole, where the Bears are at, and really kind of just start breaking down. All right, what do we have coming next? What do we have for this upcoming season? Because based on another ESPN report here, we may not have DJ Moore moving forward. Ben Sloak putting that out there. That's going to be interesting to see kind of what he said on that. And then PFF giving the perfect free agent target for every single team. Talk about who they had for the Chicago Bears. All that and more today's episode of the Windy City Breeze Sports Talk Daily. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page, leave a 5-star review. Y'all know what to do. Boys, were you as pissed as I was when you saw that name come across the docket after last night?
You dang right.
I mean, I wasn't pissed because I knew it had to be BS.
Listen, according to Dan Graziano, and I have it on good authority that the Chicago Bears will do stupid stuff.
That's exactly why I'm not surprised.
Yeah, I'll take
the
that.
Bears will Bears.
The Bears will
that this could be very interesting. Actually, listen, Graziano in a report put this out on ESPN in an article that basically talked about what every team would do, his prediction on what every head coach, where every head coach would end up in 2025. He said his prediction for the next Bears head coach is Brian Flores, current Vikings defensive coordinator. The Bears list of candidates is massive. And Flores, I don't know if he said it like that, but that's how I read it. And Flores still hasn't been allowed to interview with the Chicago Bears because Minnesota made the playoffs after last night. That will be different now. But this is the name that comes up the most when I ask people around the NFL to make a prediction. Flores led the number 5 scoring defense, 19.5 points allowed per game, and the Vikings finished tied for 4th in sacks with 49. Now, let's be real. He would help the defense. Nobody thinks he wouldn't help the defense. Nobody thinks he wouldn't be able to come in and have an impact defensively on this team. Here's the problem. And if this is true, why is it all of a sudden we just magically believe a leopard changes his spots? All of a sudden when we look at a coach, and this is what he goes on further to say in the article, by all accounts, it sounds like Flores has made a very different impression on people in Minnesota than he did in Miami. He has been public about the reason things went wrong for him with the Dolphins and what he has learned from the situation that would make things different at his next stop. I continue to say this. We can sit here and talk about how these guys are changing, how they're going to be different, how they're going to move different, how everything. At the end of the day, they are who they are. Bill Belichick's the same dude that he was in Cleveland, same dude that he was in New York. He had his standard. What changed with Belichick that finally got him up out of there? He started winning. When were they sick of Belichick? When he stopped winning. Brian Flores is a name who literally made Tua feel like, I hate coming to work every day. And I said this last night. What pisses me off most about Brian Flores is that because of your personal feelings, you almost cost somebody who had the talent millions.
Mm-hmm.
You almost cost somebody who had the talent a career. You almost cost somebody who, and the next coach walked in and was like, yeah, just throw it to that open guy and you'll be all right. Let me scheme him open for you. I thought Ryan Fitzpatrick really summed it up when he talked about it. He said, you'll notice nobody from that Miami staff will be there. And I'm not impressed by the mindset that, oh, well, he says he's learned from his time in Miami and people in Minnesota view him differently. Yeah, when you're not the guy running the show, you have to do things different. Somebody else is telling you what to do.
Mm-hmm.
But hearing this is concerning because he finishes it out with this. One more relevant note here. Flores and Bears GM Ryan Poles both went to Boston College, so there's a connection there.
Oh, my God.
There it is.
There's always a
There's
Dub. Here we go.
There we go.
Here's what I'll say. I'll give
that last drop here, the Dub right there.
Foul driver into
shattering Dub. The Dub hit us with the
take a walk, man. Take a walk, Dub. Take a walk.
I'm go, man.
He's go, man. Solid go.
No, I'll put it like this. I'll give pros and cons to Brian Flores. The only pro that I would see as having Brian Flores is in the building is I believe he is the type of guy that will not get told what to do. He's the type of guy that will stand on his morals. He will definitely speak up when he needs to speak up. I believe that is the type of change that needs to be in the building. That's the type of voice. However, I don't want it coming from Brian Flores because on the opposite side, all the cons scare me. If you're saying that you scared away or you frightened a decent to Pro Bowl caliber quarterback in Tua Tagovailoa, didn't want to come to work, didn't want to play football for you, what does that say about your relationship potentially with Caleb Williams? I don't want you tarnishing your relationship with QB1. You know how some of the and honestly, some of these players now coming into the league, they're more sensitive. It's a players' league. I don't want my coach, going nuts on my quarterback one, not knowing how to speak to him, not knowing how to groom him or develop him for that matter. You know what he does on defense. What does he do on offense?
Yeah,
he would be nowhere near my top candidate. And again, you saw him just get completely obliterated by Sean McVay and Matt Stafford. And so there's question marks with that. So again, yeah, Brian Flores being at the top of the list. Dan Graziano, stop yourself.
Now, I will say this because you bring up last night's game. There's three quarterbacks in this league that would have picked that defense apart. Caleb Williams being one of them.
You doggone right.
Matthew Stafford, who did it last night, and who did, and the reason was because both of them were very good in the quick game versus the Vikings, and then you also take Jared Goff into account with that as well. He did a great job against the Vikings this year. Those are the three quarterbacks that did the best against him. So if there's three quarterbacks in the NFL that can beat your defense, as long as you don't play one of them in the Super Bowl, I guess you're doing all right. Like I give him credit for the defense. I feel like people want to look at his defense and now and be like, I have major questions on it. I don't have questions on it. I just know if you get the football out in under 2 seconds, it's not going to work. The zero blitz has no impact.
Yeah.
No, this would be an all-time Bears move. This would be an all-time Bears move. This is something that they would do. And it's because they want a leader of men. And I get it, right? Flores is probably going to be the leader of men, but just barking out orders or just standing your 10 toes ground doesn't necessarily make you a full leader of men if you can't motivate and inspire. You see, if you got a quarterback like Tua who doesn't even want to play, who doesn't want to practice, who's probably scared of you, it's something you're doing wrong.
Yeah,
you're not motivating, you're not inspiring. Hey, and no shade against Brian Flores, right? Obviously, he's a great defensive coordinator. He's really good at what he does. But we need to develop Caleb. That is the number one objective going forward and win games. We're in win mode now. So obviously, we know the two names that we probably should be considering, right? We should be considering Ben Johnson. We should be considering Mark McCarthy. Why is his name even floated out there? I wonder if this is just clickbait. Is this just a way to kind of drive more news, drive more speculation?
Well,
or is the article was tea leaves there.
The article was about everyone. So it wasn't just about the Chicago Bears. He talks about the Dallas Cowboys. He says Kellen Moore is their obvious choice, which I think is the obvious choice. He talks about Jacksonville. He's got Joe Brady going there. Talks about the Raiders. He's got Ben Johnson going there, which I think, listen, with the Raiders being involved in it, I think that's a real situation.
That's all Brady.
With the Raiders being involved in, I think that's a real situation. And I've seen people out there that are like, well, what can a minority owner do that's going to influence you to show up in the building? You think freaking Magic Johnson had nothing to do with getting people to want to be in Washington? You think Magic Johnson had nothing to do with getting coaches to want to come there and work? By the way, Magic Johnson ain't even the greatest basketball player of all time. Greatest point guard. It's not even the same sport. Now you take the dude who's literally the greatest football player, arguably, or I should say the greatest quarterback of all time. Some people would argue the greatest football player of all time. Give me Deion Sanders all day. And you have him running a meeting. No, there's serious concern that Tom Brady could come in and sweep Ben Johnson away. But if your next best option is Brian Flores, and I get it. Listen, you want to talk about that leader of men. I'm so sick of hearing that, right? Because if you come in and you win, you're a leader of men. We had this discussion. Every winner is talked about as a leader of men. Nobody talks about, hey, literally every single year we talk about Mike Tomlin underperforming, but we go, leader of men.
Yeah.
This shouldn't even be a consideration, bro. But you know what? This is the Bears' fault. This is the Bears' fault, and this is what happens when you don't keep your house in order, right? When there is no clear direction. Clearly, they don't know which route they're willing to go. That's why they're interviewing 37,000 coaches.
Hey, Doug, look behind you. Everybody behind you in those buildings has an interview. Everybody in those buildings have an interview.
First off,
that one too, yeah.
Why Dub look back like a villain about to take over the city? What was
I'm about to take over.
He said, look behind you.
This whole city
almost burned.
He throws his hands behind his back. He's a straight up villain ready to take over the city, dog. You got to watch this guy. I can't trust him.
You wasn't born in the darkness. Well, I was molded by it.
I was molded by it.
But this is what happens when you don't have a direction. It calls speculation. And so now everybody can just throw on their 2 cents. And hey, it's very possible that this reporter is getting some of this information within the organization.
Well, Graziano's
they're very interested.
Yeah, Graziano's plugged. He's ESPN's senior NFL reporter. For the national, he's talking to people, and I think the fact that he's hearing the name Brian Flores as we go further down this line, it's gonna go, okay, well, maybe it is Brian Flores. It feels like Tony La Russa, right? For me and Dub. Remember the Tony La Russa rumors hitting? Everybody's like, get out of here, La Russa.
Oh,
dead.
no.
Nobody
The owner wanted him.
Russa.
But Reinsdorf wanted him.
And then slowly as it started going on, it's like, La Russa's he's in the building?
He's in the building.
Oh,
what's he doing in the building?
Oh,
Him and Jerry are
God.
friends. Him and Jerry are just buddies. They know each other. Hey, he went to Boston College, man. You know, that's Brian Flores and Ryan Pauls at the Boston College. They just good people. They just know each other. It's not. Why is he still here? He's not leaving, is he?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, God.
Got a contract.
Massive mistake, bro. You got an opportunity, right? Like, okay, I want Ben Johnson, but man, if Ben Johnson, and it's crazy because I think Tom Brady is broadcasting the Lions game this weekend, by the way.
The 3.5 hour glaze show that we're about to get, I'm telling you, the offense could not move at all. I guarantee this. Let it be like a mid offensive game. Ben Johnson's offense don't look amazing. The Lions still win. It's gonna look like a doggone. That was about to be a wild joke I was about to make there. I forgot which show we were on here. It's about to look like a brothel in there. Let's go with that joke. Tom Brady's about to be doing some elite level glazing.
Great, yeah, extreme.
And for me, it's like, you know, at the end of the day, it's like you should be trying to win. And I'm not saying that Brian Flores can't help you win, but he's not going to help your offense succeed. He's not going to help your quarterback succeed. We've already seen that fail before. You want to get somebody that's either that can make your offense succeed and possibly be one of the best offenses we've ever seen, or get somebody that's steady like McCarthy, who has success wherever he's gone. You can't dispute the numbers. At the end of the day, yeah, I know I've said before that McCarthy is kind of like a B, maybe a B plus at best. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, he's going to get you 12 wins possibly. And he's developed some of the best quarterbacks we've ever seen. So those are the directions you need to be going.
I dropped a short on this. I think, and I said this earlier too, McCarthy needs a better PR team.
Yeah.
Like desperately.
Yeah.
Did y'all see Himbo's numbers about Mike McCarthy? Himbo from ESPN, he always does the show with Greeny and stuff like that. He dropped some interesting stats on Mike McCarthy, and he literally is the exact kind of coach that we always say we want. Mike McCarthy's playoff appearances per season, he's got 12 playoff appearances per 18 seasons. Mike Tomlin, 12 playoff appearances per 18 seasons. Sean Payton, 10 playoff appearances for 17 seasons. Division titles, McCarthy has 8. Tomlin has 7. Payton has 7. Playoff wins versus losses, McCarthy is 11-11. Payton's 9-9. Tomlin's 8-11. He's literally the best of those 3 names.
You can't argue
the
numbers.
They all have the same resume: Super Bowl champions, long streak of not doing a lot of winning there. I mean, like they all literally have the exact same resume, just about. In the playoffs, I'm talking about winning. Like for me, I look at McCarthy as a real option here for the Bears. I think he would be, Jordan kind of said he's the safe option this morning. I don't know if I'd call him safe, but I think he is the. I think he
stable.
He's got a high floor.
That's what we said. He's the stable option for the Chicago Bears. Brian Flores, to me, if you're going to go with somebody who's coached before, and listen, I'm fine with you picking a defensive guy. Pick Aaron Glenn, right? But if you're going to go with somebody who's been a head coach before in the NFL, why would you go for the guy that literally everyone who talks about him in his previous spot goes, this guy sucks? Like it literally every single person who was a part of it, because maybe he learned. Because maybe he's a different coach now. Because maybe in his time away, he's had to learn his lesson. Now, I will say there is a coach, and Yurko pointed this out because he played for him, right? Who kind of learned you need to rub the guy's shoulders a little bit, right? Take that for what you will. That's kind of you need to massage the shoulders. You need to come in with a softer touch. There's no great way to say any of this. This all sounds bad. Right? This all sounds bad.
Yeah.
But that was Tom Coughlin, who Yurko played for, who was very similar to what we're seeing now with Deion Sanders. Hey, ain't no socks and sandals. We're not doing this. Rules that you would go, well, it don't make no sense, but those are his rules. That's how he set his standard. He's very aggressive. He was very forthright. He would sit there and tell you what you needed to hear, how he wanted to tell you, not how you wanted to hear it. Yurko talks about how different he was when he went to New York. Because remember, he gets his 2 Super Bowls in New York. He's a different guy with the players. So I guess in that case, right, if you want to make a case for Flores, very similar, I guess, early on, although did he ever make the playoffs with Miami? I don't think he ever made the playoffs with Miami. But very similar win-wise, right? He had a winning, they won games down there. The players weren't all enamored with him. He kind of learned his lesson there. Goes out to New York, wins. Can you take that chance? This is the question that we asked earlier on the show, JC, on the Morning Breeze. Yeah. Can Ryan Poles take that chance?
I seriously don't think he can take that chance. That's what I've been wondering is, are you going with the safe? And again, that's why I said safe, comfortable picks, because you feel like your life or your GM life is on the line with the Bears. You feel like you don't have any more bites at the apple past this offseason, so you got to get it right with the head coach. You got to get it right with the drafts. So you're not going to go for the as we talked about before, the known versus the unknown. You're not going to go for the shining toy that nobody knows about when it comes to head coaching in Ben Johnson, because he may scare you away and he may look at you like, you know what, he could be Matt Nagy 2.0, or he could be the new Kyle Shanahan. He could be the next Sean McVay. He could be the next version of a better Mike McDaniel, or whatever the case may be. Like, those are the chances you take, and I want to take those chances. I want the best of the best of the best. And at this point, he is at the top of the list. When you're talking about Brian Flores, no, he's already got too many slaps on the wrist. He's already been through the ringer when it comes to his players. That's a bad reputation. This organization has always done things so mediocre and so like, I don't even know the word I want to use. It's like they go for the very, very
safe.
Like safe. Yeah, safe, but I already said safe. It's more so like just middle of the pack. It's always a middle of the pack type of decision where we know the obvious answer is Ben Johnson, but you know what? Let me just take a look at this guy over here that looks like the same type of coaches that we've been bringing in. We already brought a defensive coordinator in that was fired from his last job or was going to be.
Yeah.
Like, what are we doing?
I know what you're trying to say there, JC. We got McDonald's money at home. We got McDonald's money at home. I ain't got no McDonald's money. We got McDonald's at home. That's what the Bears do. They sit there, it's like, oh, we got Ben Johnson. No. Let me tell you something. We don't got Ben Johnson. You know what we do got though? Mike Kafka.
Oh boy, you don't. I swear to God,
you got McDonald's at home. Baby.
Oh man,
shout out to Richard Schaefer with the super chat. He said, I read an article from Alan Goldshear, possible trades for Bears to 49ers, 2025 second round, and DJ Moore. What do you think? For who?
For who? Cal Shanahan? For who?
Oh, listen, I have
Christian
it on good authority
McCaffrey?
that he's probably not leaving.
You know, I put that out there.
Can we get it over with? Can we just get it over with?
Christian McCaffrey, baby.
You let them trade for Christian McCaffrey. It'd be pure and utter domination. Thank you.
Yuck.
Yes, sir. Get him in the
Kiss
building,
that man
baby.
live on TV. I wonder what Buddy thinks about that. Just like what possessed you to walk up to me like that? Bear Listen with the super chat said, can the Bears hurry up and hire the guy we don't want?
Exactly, Bear Listen. Like,
I mean, might as well.
Let's hurry up and get Drew Petzing in the building.
Yeah. By the way, we got over 500 in the chat.
Oh, snap.
Oh.
We
haven't been doing that in a while.
Over 100 in the chat.
Whoa.
Over 200 in the chat.
Oh.
Over 300 in the chat. Over 400 in the chat. Over 500 in the chat.
Oh, snap.
500.
I don't know if I can pump that fast. Jesus, you gotta get these hundreds.
You gotta get
Whoa.
back.
Gotta get back in the
shape,
gym,
brother. You gotta get back right.
You gotta get back
right, man.
Wow.
Let's keep this thing moving along, man. If you have not done so, hit that like button, subscribe to the page, leave a 5-star review. Y'all know what to do. Got a lot to still get into on today's show. Let us know your thoughts. Do you think that Brian Flores is showing up here in Chicago? When I saw Dan Graziano's name on this, I got nervous. I feel like we might get LaRussa, dog. We might get LaRussa. Now, I saw somebody in the chat. I didn't get, of course, I try to listen to ESPN 1000 as much as possible when I'm not on there, but I didn't get a chance to take a look at or to listen too far into Waddle and Sylvie today. Somebody said that per Sylvie, though, the McCaskies are taking McCarthy out to dinner. Hey, take me out to dinner. What was that? Wasn't that Bing Bong? Like Bing Bong.
Bing Bong.
Come on, baby, take me out to dinner. Bring that back. I need
Hey,
that
you
on
know
the soundboard. That's
wine and dine them. Wine and dine them.
That's what we got to do. Wine and dine them. I wouldn't
It's
be
a
mad.
competitive market out there. You know, you got to do what you got to do.
Listen, I keep saying this. I want Ben Johnson as one. Go get Ben Johnson. Take the chance. You can do a lot worse than Mike McCarthy. But we'll see what they end up doing, man. Let's keep this thing moving along. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page, leave a 5-star review. Y'all know what to do. This, I thought, was a very interesting topic when talking about DJ Moore. Now, DJ Moore has been, what can we say DJ Moore has been for this season? There's a lot of body language that people have had problems with, right? But when you look at DJ Moore's season as a whole, 966 yards this season, 6 receiving touchdowns, 75 rushing yards. He was used as a running back a lot out there. I wasn't a fan of that. Short of what he did last season, but still a solid season for DJ Moore. Again, getting those touchdown numbers and things like that. But everyone has had an issue with the body language of DJ Moore? Has he turned his back on the team? Is he moving on? Does he not want to be here? Does he not want to work hard here? Is he somebody we need to be concerned about? I've continued to say I don't think you need to be concerned about DJ Moore. I'm not a fan of the body language either, but you know who has terrible body language? AJ Brown. They're in the second round of the playoffs. It can work.
Yep.
You know, it doesn't end up. I don't feel like it's something that you need to do, but Ben Sloak brought it to the attention. One of his big predictions for the season, or for the offseason, I should say, is from ESPN's Ben Sloak, is that after trying and failing in the T. Higgins market, the Patriots will put together a solid trade for a veteran wide receiver like DK Metcalf and DJ Moore. Those are two names that make the most sense for the Patriots, and they won't mind sending away draft capital for immediate contributors as they plan to trade out of the number 4 overall pick anyway. When you hear significant draft capital and a significant draft package, now the number 4 overall pick is not coming. Put your eyebrows down, JC. Put your eyebrows down. You put them. You're not getting the number 4 overall pick for this. But
all right, I was about to say, bye, DJ.
DJ Moore in 10 for 4. DJ Moore in 10 for 4. You go get Will Campbell. I'm not. No. Now we're back. Hold on. I almost lost myself there. I almost lost myself.
Wow. What a hole.
What a haul. But I do think that you can't sit here and say he's untouchable. You can't sit here and say that you're in a position for your team to have untouchable guys. Outside of Caleb Williams and Rome Odunze, that sounded crazy. That was nuts. But outside of Caleb Williams and Rome Odunze, I don't think you can have an untouchable on this team. Papa do that in the building. Papa do that.
Do that.
I remember telling you guys last month, what if the Bears trade more for more picks? Since they have too many weapons, I see the Bears trading more. Well, I don't know. I'm not going to sit here and tell you, though, that I'm looking to trade DJ Moore. I think he's an impact player. I think he's a winning type of player. I think he's somebody that you want on your team if this thing is going to turn in the right direction. Now, if you tell me, right, you package 10 in DJ Moore and you get the number 4 overall pick, I can have a conversation there. But I feel like you can still go get a Kelvin Banks at 10. I feel like you can still get your future left tackle at 10. I don't think that you need to mortgage weapons that you have on your team to try and get higher to add Will Campbell, who I do think is the number 1 guy, when I think Kelvin Banks is one of those dominant guys as well.
You know what? I'm going to play Petty Casanova's stance on this. Since P-Kid's not here, or at least he's not here right now, I am going to say that I think that less is more, no pun intended. I think that if we have too many mouths to feed, that might be probably one of the issues outside of all the other chaos that was going on. Obviously, we didn't have a good offensive scheme. Shane Waldron was found out to be trash. Eberflus can't coach a little league game. Like, so we know that there's things that worked against the connection. And then there was also the chemistry between Caleb and DJ Moore. They weren't on the same page. DJ Moore was already talking down Caleb before he got here because he was backing up his guy in Justin Fields. And so maybe there's a little bit of, I don't know, something there. And then you mentioned the body language. I'm okay with the body language. I mean, everybody kind of, when you're a competitor, and I've been there before, when I'm on the basketball court, I'm not getting the ball or things are just not going our way. There's a certain point in time where, yeah, I might throw a tantrum. You might see some body language that's not really good. I may not be the best at talking to my teammates. So, yeah, that's human. That's part of human nature. The thing is, DJ Moore doesn't really show it that much. Like, he's not really a locker room cancer. He's not a problem like some of these other divas at the wide receiver position we see all over sports. We see George Pickens. Who's the guy that's getting passed around like somebody on 79th from every team to team in the playoffs? Deontay Johnson. He just keeps getting passed like he's whining, and he's on a playoff team. Now he just got cut from the Texans. He's getting
passed around like he's on 79th.
Yeah, he's been with 4 teams this year, I think. Like, it's utterly ridiculous. So My thing is DJ Moore is obviously our superstar. He's our number one, but you have some really good talent behind him in Rome. I don't know if you're keeping Keenan, but there's some other potential talents on this team where if you do package him and move forward and get something else better at a position of need, I'm not going to cry about it, but at the same time, I'm also not going to cry if we keep him. He's clearly a piece that we might need going forward. An underwhelming season. A lot of it wasn't on him. As I said before, some of the things you drew up, you started to use him more in like these screen games at the end of the season, used him as a running back, as a guy that was mainly the yards after catch guy, which he's very good at. But I need to see him, if we're going to use him or if we're going to keep him, I need to see him obviously get back to that year before where he's also a deep field threat. He's getting, 1,300 yards. Like, get back to that type of DJ, then we're okay.
Yeah, I'm not doing this.
No,
I ain't trading him. I mean, now, Patriots want to send me their fourth pick.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie.
That's the scenario, right?
They do that.
That's the scenario, realistically.
Like, to me, that's the only way I see the Bears pulling that type of trigger. I mean, that's the only way I see Ryan Poles fleecing another team is being able to pull. That'd be crazy if he traded for DJ in the fleece and then trade DJ to fleece another team. I seriously doubt that happens. And for that reason, I'm out. I'm not taking that. I'm not going to. Yeah, you like that. But yeah,
Shark Tank out here. For that reason, I'm out.
For that reason, I'm out. I don't want nothing to do with it.
But you ever see one of them things on Shark Tank come up and then you be like, hey man, I'm gonna go get that. But everybody's out there like, I don't know why anybody would want that. And I'm like, that solves a life issue.
One thing that I wish I had a thought of myself, like, damn, I should have made
some money.
The Scrub Daddy is the one thing like that for me, because I'm just like, he just cut holes in a sponge. This man did nothing. He did not. He's a billionaire. He cut holes in a sponge. It's low-key freaky. I want to know how he figured out how he found what made you cut a mouth in it? What? I don't like it.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah, I'm not trading DJ for pennies on a dollar, bro. At the end of the day, DJ's still a high-valued wide receiver. He's still one of the tops in the leagues. At the end of the day, yeah, he didn't have the best body language last season. And could it be some underlying things with the idea if he wanted Justin? That's possible. It's human nature, right? But I think the chemistry will build. The chemistry will reconnect. And at the end of the day, next year, you'll see that connection between him and Caleb as they get more reps together. I'm not sure what they're going to do with Keenan Allen, and we don't know if Keenan Allen can go anywhere else. So at the end of the day, your two top wide receivers is your rookie wide receiver, Rome Odunze, and DJ Moore. And that's just the way it is. Unless that fourth pick come up.
Quick question. Are you trading DJ Moore in Carolina second for number 4?
If I can get 4 for that's a nut. Why would they do that?
So instead of 2 second-round picks, we have 4 and 10. And I mean, DJ Moore. If you go in New England needs a wide receiver. They clearly are going to invest in Drake May going forward. They need a wide receiver.
That's not it. But yes, if they're dumb enough to take that deal, yes, I would make that trade.
Oh yeah,
yes, because I'm getting 2 top 10 offensive tackles.
I'm getting Abdul Carter and Will.
I'm getting 2 top 10 offensive tackles.
Oh, you going Kelvin and Will?
Yes, I'm taking them both. We don't know which ones can play. I'm taking 3 offensive linemen in the first 3 rounds. Yes. No, I think here's my thing. This is back to kind of what JC said earlier. We're the only team that thinks you can have too many weapons.
That's crazy.
Did we watch the Rams last night?
Yeah,
the Rams lost a dude. And the dude that came in behind him was still really freaking good. Puka Nacua, Cooper, like teams all over the place have this slew of weaponry at every turn. The Texans are still winning. They lost 2 of their most important pieces, and their second best or their third best option was like, well, I guess he probably second best.
I'm sorry.
I don't know. Where does he rank on that? You lost Diggs, you lost Tank. Is Tank third? Tank probably third. He's probably your second best option. Your second best option, who's a really ridiculously good wide receiver, and Nico Collins is the guy that you have left. Like, I don't believe in you can have too many weapons. Somebody's not going to get fed. This year was Cole Kmet. Sorry to tell you, Cole. Hate to see it. Hopefully, if Keenan Allen's not here next year, you get more targets. You get more opportunity. But we were throwing to Keenan Allen.
Yep.
Like that's what it is. Maybe if you didn't try to run right into a defender every single time the football was thrown your way, maybe you would have got more targets. But I think for me, here's my big thing with all of this is you don't get better by getting rid of guys who are on, as far as wide receivers go, team friendly deals, who are immensely talented.
Still young too.
Like, I get it. If you're going to get, if we're talking about the situation that we have, right? Essentially, you're doing what the Chargers did. You're getting rid of Keenan Allen. You're going out and you're getting a Lad McConkey or whatever it is. But what you're doing is you're going after the offensive line. I'm here for that conversation because you can't throw to DJ Moore if Caleb Williams is laying on his back, face down, back up.
Oh,
that's how it looked a lot this season.
That's true.
You can't throw to DJ Moore in that situation. That's a conversation that I'd be willing to have if it puts you in that position. But if you're not being put in that position, I'm not trading it just to go get more picks. Because none of those picks are better wide receivers than DJ Moore.
Nope.
And that's what it comes down to me. That's what it comes down to me. I hope that we don't end up moving on from DJ. Hopefully, this is a situation that the Bears can figure out here, and they can get some offensive line help in the first three. I mean, you got 3 picks in the top 40. You should be able to figure some of this out.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, 3 picks in the top 40.
This is your lifeline, Ryan. This is your lifeline, Ryan Post.
This is it. I wouldn't be surprised if, he was thinking that himself this year. Like, yeah, I'm not going to draft the linemen or get the linemen that I need to protect Caleb. But next year's draft, oh, yeah, I'm going all in O-line. If that's the case, you better go all in.
That's the dumbest thing in the world.
I've seen this a lot where Muzz are like, well, what if it was a master plan here? Like now all of a sudden with Ben Johnson, like, well, Ben Johnson said go back. So what if you throw he said I'm gonna just stick it out with Flus until Ben Johnson comes out and then I'm gonna get him. Now it's like you may not get Ben Johnson. Like, oh well, there was no offensive line this year, so we're gonna save Caleb Williams, even though Jackson Byers Johnson looked pretty good. We're gonna save Caleb Williams for next year, and then we're going out for regalia. Like, nah, bro. Like, I'm not buying that all these moving parts are there. And he was like, you know what we're gonna save Caleb with? Ryan Bates. Get out of my face.
God. 68 sacks later.
Backup lineman.
Oh
boy.
But hey, man, hit that like button, subscribe to the page, leave a 5-star review. Y'all know what to do. I thought this was an interesting spot to kind of finish out with because we haven't talked, because of the coaching situation, we haven't talked a ton about free agents that are going to be available, about people that the Bears could go out in the draft and get, about players that you think could make an impact for this team. But PFF has already started that process. PFF put out an article on the best free agent that every team could go get that makes the most sense for their team. And for the Chicago Bears, they bring up edge, which I love because now you can completely focus on offensive line in the draft. Josh Sweat out of Philly, 27 years old. He's going to be a free agent this season. He has been an absolute monster as always. 8 sacks on the season, 27 solo tackles, 7 assisted tackles on the season. Just somebody who can continue to get the pressure. Pass rush grade better than his run defense grade, but not by a crazy amount. He's somebody who can make an impact at every part of the defense, and somebody who I think would be really good opposite Montez Sweat. Now, the reason that they bring up Josh Sweat in this conversation is because the Bears are going to have some money. You would assume that you're letting Keenan Allen walk. And for the second straight year, the Bears are going to have a surplus of spending value up to $80 million to be exact. So why not go after a big fish? The current Eagle has been terrific over the past 4 years, ranking 24th in PFF's pass rushing grade and 22nd in wins above replacement. That's the stat that I think really excites me with Josh Sweat. If you paired him up with Montez Sweat, who had 49 pressures this season, 14.7% pass rush win rate, you're talking about one of the top duos in the NFL. Would that be somebody that you think the Bears could convince to come here to Chicago?
I think so. And that will be a good get, honestly. You get a guy like that who can get the pressure, and that's kind of been the problem this season.
Yeah.
I watched so many games where I've seen the Bears barely put enough pressure on the quarterback. I've seen that pocket almost look clean for these quarterbacks that we're playing against. So if we can get somebody opposite of Montez Sweat, who can, you got Sweat on both edges, you know what I'm saying, rushing the quarterback, that just opens everything for this defense to flourish, you know, and at the end of the day, this is what you need. So yeah, I do think they should put some money into the defense, and specifically the trenches. The trenches should be your focus on both sides of the ball this season. Yeah. That's it. The trenches. We got everything else. The trenches is it. If they do this, we could be like Philadelphia and be a team, you know, that puts good pressure on the quarterback and able to get some sacks.
Go ahead, Jersey.
No, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm playing devil's advocate with this one because I'm not that impressed. I'm impressed to the point where yes, he would be an upgrade, but as the same conversation with the head coaching, getting Josh Sweat in the building is kind of like getting maybe Brian Flores or Pete Carroll or even a Mike McCarthy. You're getting an above average person in the building that could change a few statistics, that could move the needle a little bit, but I want somebody that's going to move the needle and just break the Richter scale. I wanted a premium, superior edge rusher. You get Josh Sweat in the building, you're basically just imitating what you got when you brought Montez Sweat. And not saying that that's a bad thing, because you do need somebody on the other end that's going to create a little bit more pressure. But we saw in the beginning of the season that all of those guys, whether it was Darrell Taylor, whether it was DeMarcus Walker, whether it was Austin Booker, they looked as if they were creating pressure. They had some of the better rush run rates and pressures for the first couple of weeks, and then it just fell off the table. So are we just saying that we're going to get a guy that could maybe fit into that mold, maybe a little bit better than those guys, but not necessarily be an impact, like true impact player, game after game, down after down? I like these numbers. His best sack season was 11 in 2022. That's okay. That's good. That's good. Don't get me wrong. Double figure sacks.
11 is pretty elite, dog. What are we talking about?
Nice.
Yeah, but I mean, nice. Like Myles Garrett gets you 18, 19. Like
Myles Garrett ain't available.
That's my point.
But JC, that might be the problem. The problem might be that might be the best that's out there available.
Premium meat? Is that what you just said?
No, I didn't. I said I want somebody elite. But if you want to go, I do want a premium meat. I do want a grade A edge rusher. We need a tomahawk version of edge rusher. I don't want the just the pot roast version of meat. Okay, need the premium steak, premium cut.
But who'd you go out there and get then? If you were Ryan Poles, Jordan, who'd you go out there and get then?
I'm drafting my next premium rusher. I'm drafting that guy. That's why I said I wouldn't mind getting DJ Moore and a second round Carolina pick to move up at 4. I'm getting Abdul Carter, and then I'm also getting Will Campbell. I'm addressing both sides of the trenches. Bada bing, bada boom.
We get that. We also get that compensatory pick too, right? For
because
third, if Ian Cunningham takes a job somewhere else for
like
this
he
year,
might be gone this year too. That's another one too.
And Keenan Allen, right? If Keenan Allen goes,
you would get
elsewhere.
A compensatory. Depends on what Keenan Allen signs for, but you can get up to a compensatory third. But at worst, it'd be a 4th that you basically got rid of.
It's not bad.
I think here's my.
Trey
here's
Hendrickson.
my thing.
Thank you, Drew. Yeah.
When Josh Sweat comes up, is you know that you're going to have 2 guys who can create a high level of pressure. The conversation now becomes, what does that do for the guys that you paid the big money on the back end who can't do their job the right way because of the fact that you can't maintain pressure? What does that do for Jalen Johnson? What does that do for? Remember what happened to Kyler Gordon? Not Kyler Gordon. Kyler Gordon, right?
Yeah.
No.
Start quarterback.
Nope. I always throw their names together. Kyle Fuller.
Oh,
remember what happened
Bears.
to Kyle Fuller?
Yeah.
When pressure was available. When we were getting to the quarterback, when we were forcing quarterbacks to make bad decisions. That's why I think a guy like Josh Sweat makes sense. You go out and you spend money on him. You can focus the rest of your money or the rest of your draft capital and probably some of the money as well on the offensive side of the football. You got to pay some of the guys that you have in the building. They're going to be up for contract. But if you're having a conversation about Josh Sweat, to me, you're talking about increasing the pressure, making those back end guys better. You're talking about increasing the pressure, making the Kyler Gordons, the Jaquan Briskers, the Kevin Byards, the Jalen Johnsons better. You're talking about the guy that everybody has been beefing with for the last season and last 2 seasons, Tremaine Edmonds, actually being able to do his job and not have to focus on putting pressure on the quarterback. It's great to have all of these pieces. It's great to have wide receivers. We got wide receivers. We got DBs. We got linebackers. We got running backs. We got all this stuff. We have no trenches. So none of them matter.
Yep.
And so for me, I think your focus needs to be getting Montez Sweat back on track, getting him back to having the season that you hope that he's going to be able to have. For you to do that, get somebody opposite of him that can rush. Josh Sweat to me is a guy like that. Now, if you want to go big and go like Trey Hendrickson,
absolutely, that was the name I was thinking
that's
about.
A trade.
I'm
Trey
fine.
Hendrickson is still under contract.
Right. Yeah. So like for free agency, like that might be your and Josh Sweat is a really good player. I mean, honestly, I'm not saying he's like, on the level of Henderson or whatever the case may be. But if you can go out and get him and you don't have to give up any assets to get him, that might be your best bet. I'm with that.
Yeah, see, to me, that's all fine and dandy, but here's another thing that we might be overlooking. What happened to Montez Sweat this year? We all assumed he would build off of that 12.5 sack season from last year. We all assumed that, they got more pressure on the defensive end. Devon Dexter's going to take a step forward, which he did technically at the beginning of the season. Big Man Billings is going to clog up the middle. That's going to create more holes and more space for Montez to do his thing. And he ended with his second worst sack season in his career with 5.5. So that's my question is, do you think that he's going to get back on track? We hope. I certainly hope he will. But there's a lot of hope in this building right now. Like, I don't want another person on the other end just getting 5.5 sacks. That's my question mark too. Is Montez was playing hurt. I see some people saying that in the chat.
Yeah.
However, I still find it that it was a very underwhelming season. Every single game he played hurt.
Well, I mean, it's not like you get healthier.
Right. And then he got double teamed a lot too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They can just hone in and focus on it.
Yeah, but I will say this. I never give you, I'm not gonna say never. I do understand the double team excuse. They double team a lot of dudes. Yeah. They double team Myles Garrett. Myles Garrett still gets to the quarterback. Yeah, I mean, they double team Trey Hendrickson. He still gets to the quarterback. They double team TJ Watt. He ain't get to the quarterback in the playoffs.
He really different.
Yeah, I mean, but there's a lot of guys get double teamed and they still make an impact. The one thing that I think you do have to say, though, is if Montez Sweat isn't that guy, then you need to absolutely help him on that other side. He seems like when he was being double teamed and triple teamed and all that, he wasn't able to be that guy. Now, at the same time, we saw that with Khalil Mack, who's also available in free agency.
I would bring Khalil Mack back
right away. Available in free agency in theory.
He has not fallen off.
Anybody in on Khalil Mack?
Absolutely.
Return of the Mack.
He is not falling off.
That would be hilarious.
I'm trying to see what was his stats for this year? Because I know the previous year that man
was a lot lower. He was down like 6 sacks.
Yeah, but he's going to create that pressure. He'll create that pressure, and he puts fear in the heart of the player across the way from him.
Yeah. 6 sacks, 17 the previous year. Yeah.
Could you imagine if him and Montez Sweat?
Did you just lick your lips at that possibility? That was crazy. Did anybody else see that? He said,
little sweaty back. Oh, okay.
I mean, tasty propositions, man. I like winning.
You like that Max Sweat, huh? You like that Max Sweat? That's what you're saying?
But if we can get Mac back, I mean, obviously it just depends on what number we're looking at, right? Like how much does he want, but man, if you can get him back and he's healthy, I'll take it.
He has been talking about retiring. Yeah,
well, that's what he said. He said he wants to see where he wants to retire at, what team he wants to finish it out. So this is probably coming in his last season. But I think here's the thing, and we could kind of finish it out with this. For me, adding somebody who you know can create that pressure is only going to improve Montez Sweat. It's only going to improve Javon Dexter. Look at how well Javon Dexter was playing opposite Andrew Billings, who turned into an elite pass rusher this year. His pass rush win rate, one of the highest in the NFL. We were losing our minds. We was like, who the heck is this defensive tackle? He's changed his entire identity of who he is, but how he was able to get to the quarterback, force that pressure on the quarterback. Those are things that help Montez Sweat. If you have that guy opposite of him, those are things that just make it easier. When you don't have a direction to escape to, it makes your life a lot harder. I think that Montez was a little bit banged up this year, but realistically speaking, this is kind of who Montez has always been. The anomaly for Montez was the 12-sack season. Now, this is completely lower, but Montez has been an 8 to 9 sack guy per season. I wouldn't expect him to be too much more than that. I think you're probably talking about maybe gets to 10, maybe gets to 11 sacks a season. He is that Josh Smith kind of guy. He is that, but I don't think he's ever going to be a 17 and a half, 18 and a half sack season guy. I think you kind of knew that when you paid him, but I like what we need to see more. Need to see more of what we saw the previous season, but I think that also comes with helping Montez out. And giving him that guy who can rush opposite of him. Miguel Goncalves with the super chat says any of the top 5 head coaching candidates will be fine. For me, Poles is the number one thing. Poles is the one that needs to nail this draft. Carter, Ratledge, Booker, and Majors in that order, and we are looking good for the future.
Carter's not going to be there. Carter's not going to be there at number 10. He's a top 5 pick. That's the first rusher coming off the board.
Yeah, you probably not getting.
That's why I said I wanted 4. Yeah. You're not getting him at 10.
Maybe you can get him.
You better hope.
Hey man.
Maybe we get that top pick.
I'll take it.
Maybe we get that top 4 pick. They're talking. There's conversation. No, I'm just joking. Hey man, appreciate you guys for tuning in to the show. Love it. That like button, subscribe to the page, leave a 5-star review. Y'all know what to do. Lot more coming with this Bears team. There's still a lot to talk about. McCarthy going to be in the building tomorrow. What's today? Tuesday? Tomorrow to interview for the Chicago Bears job. So, of course, we'll be talking about that. Tap in with me and George JC tomorrow morning for the Morning Breeze. We'll be live at 7 o'clock. And if you are a Breeze super fan, make sure to tap in tonight with me and P. Kid as the Eye of the Storm starting tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Breeze debate action. Breeze debate show coming here, which you already know. This is Kid's world. He's like a dog.
Petty, boy.
He's like a dog. What he don't know is I'm really good at this, so it's gonna be fun.
I can't
back and forth on this one. Hey, so if you are a Breeze super fan, tap in with us. If you're not a Breeze super fan, make sure to sign up so that you can get to see the Eye of the Storm tonight with me and Pete Kidd. Y'all stay safe out there, Chicago. Bear down. One love for Mr. Meaty, Jordan JC, Superman C Dub, your boy Pat the Designer. Peace.